Yesterday we saw the Xbox Games Showcase, followed by Starfield Direct. Starfield Direct was an awesome hour-long show featuring all things Starfield. We saw a massive amount of new features, including ship building, habitat building, how your crew and your characters are going to play a very vital role in the actual game, loads of combat and loads of other awesome bits. And today we're going to go over all of those little bits in some detail. So, if you are a fan of Starfield and you are looking forward to the game's release, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you are most looking forward to about Starfield. Starfield Direct was the highlight of the night, with some brilliant titles being announced at the Xbox Games Showcase. Nothing compares, especially in my mind, to Starfield. This is going to be absolutely amazing. If you don't know, it is developed by Bethesda, guys behind popular titles such as Fallout and Skyrim. This is their first brand new universe in over 25 years. The team have said that they've always dreamt of doing something spacey and something sci-fi, and they've wanted to do it for such a long time. And now the technology is finally there to enable them to do that. With some beautiful sceneries, over 1,000 planets to explore, this game is going to be a massive hit. So some of you may be thinking, did he say that right? Over 1,000 planets in a Bethesda game? Hell yeah, that is right. There are over 1,000 planets that we can explore, which is absolutely insane, with each one of them being tremendously different, having different things on there and different possibilities. It is going to be insane, and no one player is going to go through the exact same path. And with there being 1,000 planets, no one is going to be exactly the same. We're going to be coming across loads of different locations on each planet. There's going to be different ways that we'll be able to explore. We'll be able to explore by landing on a certain area on a planet. So it'll be like landing on just a small portion of a map and then potentially exploring the whole thing if you wanted, or heading off to a different planet and doing that exact same thing there. So it may take you hours upon days to actually even get through everything and exploring every part of this game, which is brilliant. I think a game like that, value for money, 100%. Every single Fallout game that I've played, the Skyrim game, I've had my money's worth 100 times out of those games. And I have a feeling Starfield is going to be the same. I mean, sure, it's probably going to be a little bit buggy when it first launches. Not probably, it will be a little bit buggy when it first launches. It's a Bethesda game. Now, we've seen loads of cool stuff so far, but being a Bethesda game, the one thing that I'm a little bit unsure of so far, how it looks, is the combat. It looks really cool, but it's a Bethesda game. It's just different, isn't it? It looks like it would feel like playing a Call of Duty game. Whereas, obviously, Fallout, you can have that old sort of run-and-gun style, but it's better to just throw loads of explosives and be a little bit more prepared. But yeah, like Call of Duty, but with jetpacks. Maybe not as extreme combat style as that, but it looks loads of fun. And then we've got the hub, which looks absolutely awesome. I love the look of this. It's no Pip-Boy, but it's brilliant. So up here we've got like skills, missions, loads of different stuff that we'll be able to check on, customize as we're going through the game. I like the inventory. I think that looks really cool. There's loads of good stuff in there. And then some of the detail we see on the inventory page, it looks so cool. So we've got the weapons there, spacesuits, Constellation pack, not too sure what that is yet. Helmet, I think that's just your bag. Loads of cool stuff, but the detail on the weapons, that looks awesome. Absolutely love that. And there's loads more detail on all of them as well. All of the kit that we've got, it just looks so cool. We've got a mass system down there, which is obviously the weight. The spacesuits look beautiful. And then we've got loads and loads of food. I love the look of that. It looks wicked. The steaks, sausages. Yes. It makes it a survival game. All this food. And then we have our ship, which looks insanely cool. We'll be living, breathing, eating and shitting in this place, alongside being able to control different elements and decide where we go from here. This looks absolutely amazing. Hopefully there's a lot of storage. And then we have the planet system, which is insane. How we're going to be able to travel between these is so damn cool. And we can upgrade the ships a little bit. I don't know whether we'll be able to upgrade the interior or not. But as you can see, the planets are massive. They are very different as well. Some of them are very resource heavy, so the more idle planets like the moons, and then the central planets could potentially have life. But then on these bars here, you can see what's on them, whether they have life, all of that really cool stuff, which I love, because then we can see resources that are on the planet. So that's really cool. It's going to save a hell of a lot of time, especially whether we can send something out to do surveys of the planets. I think would be really, really cool. So send sort of like a drone out, and then it will survey it, come back and tell you exactly what's on it. If there's any hostile places and stuff like that, I think that'll be really cool. Then as we come further out, there are a hell of a lot more planets to choose from. But we go even further out than that, there's so many more planets. Now, we can't get all the way to all of these planets yet because we will need to upgrade our ship. So your ship uses something called a grav drive to move between these different systems and planets. How this grav drive will actually work, don't really know just yet. But we have been told that we will now need to upgrade our ships to actually reach further away galaxies and planets. So that is pretty damn cool. How the grav drive will be refueled or refilled, I don't know. Whether we'll have to sort of buy fuel or it's something that we'll have to make. Very excited to find out. But we did see a very interesting system here. Outside of a heavy planet, sort of Alpha Centauri, I think it was called. But this planet has got a main city on it. So as you're coming in, we are getting scanned for contraband, which is very cool. So what happens if we have contraband? Will we be attacked or will we have to fight? Not 100% sure yet. But as you can see here, we have a very detailed system on the outskirts of the ship. This looks like we're actually flying it. So we've got boost, speed, LT, RT, which are all obviously buttons. Whether that means we can, this is just going to be a quick like sort of turn around, or whether we'll actually be able to pilot it around planets, I don't know. As we land on another planet and head into the city, this city is insane. This is Alpha Centauri, and this is the biggest city that they've ever made. Not just in terms of size, but the amount of people that are wandering around here, the quests that you'll be able to undertake. And it also is built to feel lived in. So not just being able to wander around and see random people stood there. It's similar to GTA. Hopefully they don't swear at you in this. I mean, they might. You never know. But everybody's not swearing at you. Everybody's just wandering around doing their own thing to help the world feel a little bit more lived in and give it a little bit more of a sense that everything is going on around you regardless of what you're doing. And then we get our first glimpse into the story by meeting this group named the Constellation. Now, the Constellation are looking Now we get our first little bit of a look at the story, where here we meet a group called the Constellation, which are the first true explorers that go back decades. Now these guys are looking for answers about some form of artifact along with many other things. But this is the first part of our main storyline where we'll be coming across several other characters through this, heading over to different planets, meeting many new people, and there is going to be so many quests that we'll be able to undertake. Not just around the Constellation, but with every other colony as well. Alongside the Constellation, there are so many colonies that we'll be able to work with. The United Colonies is a larger branch of just a few that we'll be able to come across throughout our adventures in Starfield. Now, the United Colonies is also in control of one of the largest mine systems in the galaxy. But the United Colonies isn't the only group we'll come across. There's another one, such as the Freestar Collective, which, as you can see, both elements vary. The United Colonies have massive cities that look absolutely outstanding. And then the Freestar just looks like a sort of Wild West, which is absolutely amazing. And it's going to create so many different ways to play. And I'm so excited. I'm really hoping that we can make choices that really reflect the gameplay and change how things progress towards the later stages. But outside those colonies, there are uncharted star systems and unclaimed planets. Now, these planets are home to hostiles. Many hostile factions, or sort of tribes as it were. They're not as big as the collectives, as those bigger dudes, but they pack a hell of a punch, and there's going to be a lot of really funky gameplay going on in these areas, which I absolutely love. It looks like there's going to be sort of hostile wars going on between all sorts of different smaller factions. And whether we'll be able to actually side with certain ones, I really do hope so. Character creation in Starfield has gone further than it has in any Bethesda game. We've got the usual, waking up, sleepy traveller, and there are over 40 preset characters that we can pick from. But once we've picked those 40 preset characters, there is a massive, massive range of customization that we're going to be able to go through. The amount of character customization that has gone into this is absolutely insane. It's the most creative character build system that they've had in any of their games previously. So this is going to be brilliant. I have a feeling some people are going to spend hours and hours doing this. They've also said that anything that you see out in the world, character-wise, that is something that you can almost pretty much replicate for your own character. So if you do see someone that looks really, really cool, you could potentially start a new character with that person that you've seen, which is really a nice touch. I think that's really cool. And then we have the character background. Now you'll be able to go through this and pick from which all of these select categories, and those will give you 3 separate skills. Now these skills are quite interesting because, like a normal, say Fallout for example, you will have one of those skills that later down the line will actually come in handy, and you'll be able to speak to a person, and that person will need a skill that you've got. So that helps you out and moves you along a little bit quicker, which is quite cool. And then we have traits, which are actually optional, but some of these come with buffs, some of them come with debuffs. But I like the idea of the traits. They're quite cool, as you can see here. You can have adoring fans. Starfield will also have an extensive skill system, with skill points allowing us to level certain items up. And then once we've leveled those items up, we'll be able to rank things up. So the way we'll be able to rank things up is by doing certain challenges, and these challenges will get harder as we progress through. And with over 5 skill trees and 4 different rank trees per tree, this is going to be a hell of a lot of upgrades that we'll be able to do. So you're going to be able to build a beastie character, and it's going to take you a long time to do it as well, which is good. With this extensive kill system, there are so many ways that we'll be able to approach different situations, which is absolutely amazing. We could just punch our way out of something, shoot our way out of something, talk our way out of it, or even sneak. So there's going to be a different playstyle, and a playstyle that suits everyone. Now, something I was humming and ahhing about earlier on is the ships. I didn't actually know that you could fly the ships. I wasn't 100% sure, but it turns out that we will definitely be able to fly these ships, especially around the planets. And as we're doing that, we're going to be able to explore, have chance meetings, go through asteroid fields, have dogfights, and even encounter large derelict ships that we'll be able to board and potentially explore. That's just amazing in of itself. And the way that we'll be able to control this thing just looks brutal. It's definitely going to be tough, and I'm all for it. Now, alongside just being able to fly these things, oh no, we'll be able to customize them fully and purchase new ones when we head to something called a spaceport. Now, when we head to this spaceport, what we'll be able to do is speak to the actual ship technician, and he's going to now allow us to upgrade it, buy new ships, sell old ships. Now, each ship also suits your playstyle, so if you want to do cargo missions, or if you want to go out and dogfight, you'll have a different ship that actually supports that. Now, alongside that, you can massively upgrade your ship. Everything that you can see, you can take apart, and you can upgrade and change. And there are even multiple ways we can customize it. We can do a quick customization, which will allow us to add certain weapon systems, or we can do a deep customization, which will allow us to change almost everything. From habitats, which will allow you to have more crew members, to even increasing your grav drive, which will allow you to travel further and go to distant planets. Everything is customizable, even down to your paint job. And you can even have different modules which allow different things, like a crew module. You can even have weapon and storage ones. And then there's also in-game ship builders, which will allow you to customize interior modules and make everything look absolutely stunning and down to your exact character and playstyle. Now, speaking of crew, you can even have story members join your actual crew and help take care and maintain your ship. Some of these can be as actual companions, and these companions all have their own set of bonuses, stats, which help you, your ship, and your outposts. Now, crewmates and companions are a little bit different. Crewmates you'll be able to find everywhere around the world, from spaceports to random planets, and they might just want to come and help you. And you can assign these guys to almost anything. You can assign them to your ship, you can assign them to outposts, but make sure you pick the right person for the job, because their bonuses will give your outposts, ship, and even you extra bonuses. Space combat is also going to be something that is very, very cool. And that is because the game's ship energy management system. Now, this energy management system will allow us to allocate certain energy points to certain areas of our ship that we are using and most dire need of in that moment. So we can allocate power to engine that will give us more speed, or we can allocate it to our grav drive, which will get us to a further away location faster, or even over to the weapons and shields. So when we allocate it to our weapons and shields, things there get a lot more powerful, and that's how we know that we're ready for a fight. And I absolutely love the power allocation system. I don't know if there's going to be certain elements that do stop us from building. They have said that our imagination is the limit. But how far does that really go? Can we make an absolute mammoth of a ship and then still maneuver a bit in combat? Is it still going to be fun, or is it just going to be slow and pokey? We'll have to wait and see. Now, these combat situations are going to be fun because they're going to enable us to get loot from enemy ships, but we could even get a little bit more close. And we can dock enemy ships that attack us in space, jump on their ship and actually take everyone out in person, which I think is just so damn cool. But not only that, we can actually capture these enemy ships and then make them ours. And then once they're ours, we can dock them at spaceports and retrieve them when we want. We can sell them. We can do all sorts. Now, we've mentioned outposts a lot, and that is because we can actually build outposts. These aren't things that we just find. We can actually build these things, which is insane. Along with just the ship crafting and how much we can do with that. We can do that almost the same on any planet in any place. We can build an entire outpost and then fine-tune the inside, decorate it how we want, all of that good stuff. Now, as I said earlier on, we'll be assigning our crew to these areas to give them bonuses. Bonuses to things like resource harvesting. Bonus to things like the area. There's so many things that we're going to be able to do. All of these, I'm so excited. Now, at these outposts, we'll be able to build research labs and crafting tables. So we'll be able to craft upgrades for our weapons, upgrades for our kit, all of that stuff. Anything that we find on these planets, we'll be able to use to actually craft these items, or dismantle to get items to do crafting. The crafting system looks absolutely insane, and we'll be able to create some absolutely amazing weapons. Now, that pretty much wraps it up, but alongside that, they did also announce a Starfield headset, a Starfield Xbox controller, and loads of special editions, which are now all available from pre-order from whatever platform you want to play on. That is it from me to date with Starfield. If you have enjoyed today's video, drop a like on it, drop some comments down below, and let me know what you think. We'll be covering Starfield in full here on the channel. I'm very excited to get stuck in. Over the next few weeks, we'll have plenty of Starfield content, so stick around for much more. I've been Wyatt, you've been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.